Here to discuss 5 types of marriages and their odds of hanging together are relationship experts Kerner and Heide. Great to have both of you with us.
Good to be here.
Morning, guys.
So let's begin with relationship type number 1. Cat and dog, fights constantly, makes up just as passionately, turbulent relationship. Survivability.
I don't think so great. I mean, I think it is really important for couples to be able to argue constructively and to communicate empathetically. But when you're fighting like cats and dogs, I think it's all about that drama. And the issues keep coming up, but you're not necessarily moving forward. So I sort of say 50-50.
50-50. Heidi?
Well. I think, first of all, I think there's an aspect of every marriage in every one of these types. I mean, if you're static in any one of these, just walk out the door right now. Just say bye, see you Monday. But the truth of it is, in a marriage where at least there's fighting, it means there's passion. And at least there's passion, it means something can come of it. And so I would give it higher than a 50-50. This is the one I would say has a very good chance of surviving if they can just learn some communication skills.
Up next is parent and child. Clearly one partner plays the parent to the child. There's usually a lack of intimacy in that relationship.
Well,
does it work?
I actually think it does. I know a lot of couples in which one person is dominant, the other person is submissive, and the submissive person doesn't mind sort of having the roost run and being bossed around and sort of somebody else having all the rules. And I've seen those marriages actually really last.
And
so
50 Shades of Grey comes back into the
They
conversation.
can last,
Yeah.
but there's nothing going on in the bedroom.
I disagree with that.
And here's the problem with that. If you're in a marriage for the right reason, which to me is to grow and learn and to use your partner as an ability to learn how to love even more, learn how to love yourself even more, if you're stuck in this role of parent and child, you'll never grow. You'll never grow. So it's a decision, it's a contract to really stay stuck.
I know a lot of guys who love their wives and they pick out his tie in the morning and
Let's move on.
face it out the door.
What about the idol-fan relationship, Heidi? One partner idolizes the other, hero worship.
That's a tough one. I mean, part of every relationship has to be where you go, oh, I love my husband, he's this way, or I love my wife. But if you're stuck in that role, if you're saying, my husband is the greatest, and you're not looking at other aspects of who he is, it's not going to work. It's going to fall apart after about 8 years.
Yeah, I think this is terrible because you have somebody who's being idolized, but for the worshipper, the person who's doing all the worshiping, they usually lose their self-esteem, and they're not being seen, they're not being heard, and they don't know who they are.
I think we can all agree that probably is not going to work. The next one is babes in the woods, also known as best friends. The couple shares everything, so much that the two become one, making it hard to break through their collective exterior. They don't have a lot of friends. They just hang out together all the time.
They wear the same clothes after a while. They like, honey, what are we eating? It's the same foods.
And this does work or it doesn't work?
I don't think it works at all. I think if you're going to be a great couple, you have to be a strong individual and really have your own life. You can't be living through a relationship. You have to be living with a person.
And I call that one the cult of two. It's like you agree on everything, so you never really get to experience a full life.
Lastly, we have the grown-ups, people acting like adults. Heidi?
Acting like
Shocking.
adults,
Oh,
acting like
okay.
adults. Again, no sex going on in those marriages. Those are the ones where you've just become the best friend. You know, how are you doing? How are you doing? It's not, there's lacks passion. And I think that's very important in any long-term relationship. By the way, they could stay together 50 years. If that's the kind of relationship you want, it's that relationship.
I have to say, we were just chatting before here. I was chatting with my wife last night as we were talking about this, and we didn't fit into any of these. So, I mean, maybe the key is you kind of try to break the mold a little bit, right?
That's it.
Or there's a little bit from each that you can sometimes take in a healthy way.
And the good news is you don't fit into any of these, because if you did, it would mean you'd be static. You know, the big thing is people think you outgrow marriages. You don't outgrow a marriage. You outgrow the roles you've taken on when you first got married. And in a healthy individual and a healthy relationship, those roles evolve. And that's what we're looking at
This
here.
one is idol fan, by the way. I'm such a huge fan of Jarvis.
We're just trying to figure
I thought I was the fan.
Not at all. Kerner, Heide Banks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.